Hi, and welcome. Welcome back if you're returning. If this is your first time here, hello. My name is Danielle. I'm an empathic energy reader, obviously tarot and oracle reader as well. You can check out my first couple of posts if you would like a little bit more of a background on me. I don't want to waste too much time on today's video talking about me. I'm just sitting here meditating with my labradorite as I always kind of do at the beginning of these sessions. Immediately I received the song Haven't Met You Yet by Michael Bublé. I know that's the second Michael Bublé song that I've gotten in the past week, but definitely check the lyrics out to that. It's pretty much about knowing that your perfect match is out there but not having met them quite yet, but you could just feel that the person is coming into your life. So I actually really love that song, so you may want to listen to it as well. It's a nice upbeat, like feel-good song. So I was unsure what kind of reading today was going to be. I was letting my meditation guide me there, but because that's the song I received, we are clearly going to do a love reading today. So I'm just going to put my labradorite to the side, and I've been using my singing bowl as a cleansing tool. I'm just going to reverberate it a few times here at the beginning before we start the reading, just to clear the space one last time. I'm not using my regular microphone setup today. I'm testing out to see how this audio setup works, and if this works as well or almost as well, I'm probably going to stay with this setup if I can, just because it's a little bit less cumbersome. But let's just see how today's reading goes. So I'm just gonna quietly kind of clear the space. And I like using the selenite wand too to clear the field. I've already cleansed both decks that we're going to be using today, and I'm going to show them to you in a moment. Let's do it 2 more times. You could take this time to breathe in, take a few deep breaths, and just kind of focus. If you like the video, it does help me tap into your energy, but you can also focus on the intention, what information you would like to receive from today's video. One last time. Spirit, please cleanse our energy space for this tarot reading. And I'm going to place our bowl to the side. I have, if you looked at my last video, which was a crystal ramble, and there's our cockatoo. She starts when, I think it's when she hears me speaking, so you're probably going to hear her a lot. And you can also hear my cat in the background. She snores pretty loudly. So we do have a lot of animals. It's part of being an empath. I love nature, love animals. So sometimes they're a little bit on the louder side, but I wouldn't trade it for the world with them. I'm just warning you guys, since you're my listeners, that you're going to hear them in the background. But anyway, the last video I posted was a ramble about several of the crystals in my collection. And just to highlight which ones I have with me today, it's my labradorite. This one will probably be on most readings, if not all. It's my favorite stone in my collection. I have celestite to help open the third eye and help us open our intuition. I believe it's the third eye chakra for celestite, but I definitely know it helps with psychic and intuitive exercises. It's a gorgeous specimen, this one. I absolutely love it. I pretty much always have my selenite wand as well for clear energy clearing and just cleansing purposes. Okay. And then also today, not sure why, I just felt called to include the citrine crystal as part of today's reading. So I'm going to leave that there. The 2 decks that I'm using today are 2 of my favorites in the collection. This one it's by an artist, Jasmine Beckett Griffith. She's one of my favorite artists. She does a collection called Strangelings. There's a strangeling right here on the cover. I love their eyes. I actually discovered her for the first time when I was in Disney World one year. In downtown Disney, she had an art exhibit out, and I've just been in love with her work since then. It's just so whimsical, and it just really appeals not only to my sense of aesthetic, but also to like my whimsical side as well. So I just love her work, and I have her tarot deck here. This is signed by her, by the way. I have her tarot deck here. And what's cool about this deck too, besides the gorgeous artwork, is the fact that she's included some additional cards in the deck that aren't in regular tarot decks. So she's included like all of the zodiac signs have their own card in this deck, which I think is really helpful. And I believe there's a couple other cards in there as well that are not in the regular tarots. Front, and this is the back, just in case you're interested. So I'm going to be using this tarot deck today. And then also, I have an oracle deck to kind of go along with it. Same artist. It's helpful for clarifying cards. So that is what we're going to be using today. All right, like I said, this is most definitely going to be a love reading. I feel for most of you with the song that came through, this is going to be a new love situation. So this is going to be somebody that you haven't known, at least in this incarnation, I'm going to say, for most of you. This may not resonate that way for everybody, but for most of you, I'm thinking this is a new person or people coming into your life that may be very aligned with your current energy. So let's get some more information on that. I'm going to shuffle off camera just because the setup here is a little bit on the smaller side. That's one thing I really want to try to work out a little bit better, is the visual aspect of how many cards we can show at one time. Okay. I'm going to do 2 rows of 4 today. Ooh, that one definitely wanted to come out. Okay. We'll talk about what the cards are and what they mean in a moment. I just want to get a sense for where we're going and what messages want to come out today. Ooh, bottom of the deck we have, Libra. I mentioned in the last video, I myself am a Libra. This may be a Libra that's coming in. You may be a Libra. Could be another air sign, but what I like about this deck is that it's very specific to the signs. So you may be dealing with a Libra. Could indicate that you need to show balance of some sort or judgment in some way in your upcoming romantic situation. I'm actually going to just gently move some of our tools out of the way so that we can get a little bit of a better view going on here. So let's look at our first row. Okay, so we have the swinging one. In this deck, this is the Hanged Man card. Okay. 9 of Waters, which is the 9 of Cups. Nymph of Air, which I believe is the Page of Swords. I need to double check that. So I do need to consult the guidebook on that one. But I believe this is the Page of Swords. And 2 of Earths, which is 2 of Pentacles in this deck. Let me just double check on the air. Make sure that nymph is synonymous with pages in this tarot deck. I just want to make sure of that. It seems as though the court cards, you know, like Queen, King, Knight, Page, there are the nymphs, and then there are the zodiac cards in lieu of that. So the nymph of air is going to kind of epitomize some of the characteristics that are associated with the swords suit. Okay. Let's see what else we have here first. So for the first row that we have here, I don't know if you could see that. We have the Hangman, the Nine of Cups, the Nymph of Air, which is kind of like the Page of Swords, and the Two of Earths. So the Hangman, it could be you or this other person that is coming into your life are at a position right now where you've either been alone for a while or at a place in your life where you have gotten a new perspective on maybe what it is, the type of person that you're hoping to meet, or the type of person that you think you might be more compatible with. You may be feeling trapped, or this other person may be feeling trapped by their current circumstances and starting to come out of that. So this could indicate where one or both of you is coming from as you meet. You know, for me, it speaks more to perspective about what you want in a relationship, because it's right next to the Nine of Cups, which is emotional fulfillment and knowing what you want out of a relationship, knowing what your Nine of Cups would be for you in particular. So to me, these two together, that's going to mean that you and possibly the person you're going to meet pretty soon have a new perspective. You're coming out of maybe this time of isolation where you have a clearer perspective on what it is that you definitely want out of your love life, and what type of a partner would make an ideal match for you. And then we have the Nymph of Air. So to me, I'm getting Page of Swords energy right off of this, right off the bat. So this could be somebody who maybe you're friends or acquaintances with this person on social media. Maybe they're spying on you if you have a Facebook or an Instagram or something along those lines, or some kind of social platform. I get the sense that maybe this person, you've caught their eye in some way, and they're spying, not in a malicious or like creepy way, but they're spying in on you because you've caught their attention. It also, we had the Libra card on the bottom of the deck before, but also this is Nymph of Air. So this could be an air sign that you're dealing with that's coming in, such as Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. Those are the 3 air signs. But I also do get like heavy, like lighthearted online surveillance off of this card from the other person. That's what I'm getting here, that this is the other person's energy. With Two of Earths here being the Two of Pentacles, you or the person you meet may have an important decision to make, or you may be weighing out your options. I'm getting the energy that this person caught your eye. I'm sorry, you caught this person's eye, rather. And they are kind of weighing out their options for the best way to come forward and approach you. I'm getting an energy of someone who may be a little intimidated by you. Perceives you as being a little bit intimidating, or possibly even out of their league in some way. So they're weighing out like, what's the best way to talk to this person? How can I approach this person without coming off as like creepy, like I was looking at your profile without you knowing? I think they want to choose their words really carefully when they come forward to finally like introduce themselves and strike up a conversation with you. But again, I'm not getting like malicious or creepy energy off of these cards. I'm just getting like lighthearted. This person really caught my eye. I just want to make sure that I'm proceeding in a way that's going to have a favorable outcome for our possible relationship. And again, these first 2 cards I'm getting are you. Doesn't have to be a feminine energy. You could be a masculine energy watching, but someone who took some time by themselves to figure out what it is they really want in a new perspective partner, and someone who took the time to figure out what your Nine of Cups is. Okay, maybe in the past you weren't as discerning, or in the past maybe you thought your emotional fulfillment would be attached to people that weren't really able to deliver or give you what it is that you were looking for, and now you have a clearer idea of the type of person that you're looking for. I do feel for some of you this is definitely going to be an air sign coming in. Okay, but I am getting that kind of lighthearted social media surveillance This could be somebody at work too who noticed you, that you're, maybe you're not aware that you caught this person's attention, but they're thinking about how to come forward right now. Can we get some more information about this new possible connection? Again, with that Michael Bublé song. I don't know if you've ever heard it. I love that song. I just haven't met you yet. I do sing, but not today. Maybe I'll sing on the next video. I love music, and I love receiving messages through music. I adore it when I'm watching another tarot reader and they start singing a song that either connects to something I'm going through or a song that I've had in my head all week. I just love taking that as confirmation in tarot readings. I really feel like that's the way the universe primarily communicates with me, to be honest. So this card wants to come out. Six of Airs, which is the Six of Swords. So you or this other person is moving on from calmer waters, or moving on to calmer waters. I can't speak today for some reason. Please forgive me. Moving to calmer waters after maybe a period that wasn't so pleasant. We do have more air energy here, though. This is the second air card out, in addition to that Libra that was on the bottom of the deck. I'm looking at this card. Six of Swords is generally an overall positive message, at least the way I read it. She has symbols on her hands on this card. I don't know, just the look that she has on her face and the fact that she's holding her hand up that way, and it almost looks like she's covered in symbols that might have been drawn there to protect herself. I get a very self-protective vibe off of this card. I'm going to consult the guidebook, because the guidebook for this tarot deck gives a little bit more nuanced and different information than other tarot decks that I might use. So I just want to get a little bit more clarification on this Six of Airs card. Again, it's the Six of Swords. So we know the Six of Swords means moving toward calmer waters. But just because of the way she's positioned with her hand up like that and the symbols that she has drawn on herself, I just want to get a little bit more context here. Can't hurt for us to do that. So every card starts off with a little blurb, and it says, "You've been suffering for some time and looking for a gateway. Come here, jump inside. Let the symbols on my hand take you far away. A beautiful angel holds cryptic symbols that are written on her hand as a map to be able to guide those who have lost their way. She also helps those who want to escape to find something better for their lives. She's their travel agent. The symbols written on her hand reflect another dimension, a whole different world. And with a swift movement of her hand, these symbols will allow her to take people wherever they want to go. She's responsible for transporting them to their destination. The angel is also accountable. This angel is also accountable for clearing anything that blocks their path. Of course, only those who travel and transport are getting away from a harsh life. They're the ones who are seeking to go somewhere different." So in some ways, she just represents moving to calmer waters, but in other ways, I'm listening to some of the word choices that were used here. The symbols written on her hand reflect another dimension, a whole different world. I think for some of you, this could mean a transition into meeting a very high-level soulmate, or possibly a twin flame. To me, that almost speaks to a higher-level energetic connection that you might have not seen otherwise. It says, in a reading, this card represents moving from a rough situation to a smooth one. You are leaving a bad set of circumstances and entering into a time of new solutions. You are running from something, but it's for your own good and well-being. You may embark on a faraway trip alone or with company. As a side note, this card may also represent that your ideas drift from one concept to another, so you may want to stabilize your thinking. I think in this context, it definitely means smoother waters or calmer waters in your romantic life. But the metaphysical implications of the way this angel is painted on the card and the word choice in the guidebook, it just makes me think that this is going to be a higher level connection. So a real soul fulfillment, a soulmate, someone who's got a high vibration that aligns with yours. Okay? It's a little mysterious and mystical, but I take it as a positive omen for the type of person or the type of connection that you're going to be encountering. Let's see what else. I'm going to pull the next 3 cards all at once and just look at the bigger message here. These cards are just so gorgeous. I love this artist so much. Anybody looking to grow their tarot collection, I highly recommend this one. It's called Beautiful Creatures Tarot. And again, the artist is Jasmine Beckett-Griffith. She's got a hyphenated last name. Okay, again, the Libra card showed up. And I shuffled again. So I think for some of you, either you are a Libra or you're dealing with a Libra that's going to be coming in. She looks a little intense on this card. I'm drawn immediately to the moon and the stars behind her, especially the moon. So maybe just making sure that you're listening to your intuition if you are a Libra, or even if you're not, this could be an omen to like balance your logical mind with your intuition when you meet this new person. Make sure you're proceeding with caution. It could also mean if this other person's a Libra, make sure the moon over here just draws me to it. Make sure that you know everything about the situation before moving forward. For me, it speaks to intuition. So just making sure that you're using your intuition when you meet this person. But I would bet that many of you are actually a Libra yourself, or you're dealing with a Libra. And this Libra is going to be the high vibe soulmate that is coming in. Okay. We have the 3 of Swords. I don't normally read reversals, but it did come out in reverse, and I'm kind of feeling that that's the energy here as it relates to the overall message. I think this is going to be, this person is going to heal or begin to help you heal heartache or grief or loss that you were dealing with from a previous relationship. Okay, I get a very like healing, nurturing energy off of these 2 cards combined with one another. So, again, normally don't read reversals, but in this case, I'm just getting that you're coming out of a period of heartache. There is a lot of energy on the air energy on the table. I don't know if you've kind of been counting with me. We have 4 air cards. One of them is a zodiac sign, a specific one. The other one is the nymph of air, which is pretty much like the embodiment of the air element. So for some of you, you're definitely dealing with an air sign, if not a Libra specifically. Okay, and then we have, this is the equivalent of the Fool card. So an exciting new beginning. It's a very vibrant card. There's a lot of beautiful colors. It's a positive overall energy coming off this card. So I definitely get that some of you are just embarking on this whole new relationship. Like I said from the beginning, this is going to be a new person for most of you coming in to kind of help you continue to heal whatever was done to you in the past relationship that you're coming out of. But you have clarity. You have that hangman energy next to the 9 of Cups here. So you're clear on what it is that you want out of a relationship. Now, this person, you know, as many tarot readers emphasize, I can't guarantee that this person is going to say anything or communicate with you in the foreseeable future, but the energy off the card is that cards, especially these 2 together, the Nymph of Air and the 2 of Earths, this person is checking up on you and wants to figure out a way to come forward soon. Air sign energy is also communication energy, so I'm definitely getting communication for some of you very, very rapidly, very shortly. I'm going to pull 2 more clarifiers, and then we'll pull 2 oracle cards for today. Okay. Seven of Earths, which is the Seven of Pentacles. That's the first one. I want to see the second one first before I speak on it. Okay. Someone's releasing, this is the Ten of Wands. Somebody's releasing burdens. You can see those butterflies around her. They're just ready to break free. So someone's feeling burdened by their current situation. And with the way the card landed, I'm going to say this is the other person's energy. You're not feeling burdened from what I'm getting here. You are ready for your new beginning. You're coming out of this time where you were able to develop a new perspective and take some time to, alone to contemplate and think about what it is that you want. And you are ready for that new opportunity and adventure. The other person, I'm getting that they have to release burdens, or they want to release burdens to come toward you. Seven of Earths, like I said, that is the Seven of Pentacles in this deck. So that's making an investment or showing commitment through an investment. With the Two of Pentacles here, I think they want to make sure that coming towards you at this time is the right move for them. Like they may be pausing to reflect on that, if this choice makes sense for their life right now, because they have some other burdens to release. That might be another relationship that they're coming out of. I'm getting for a lot of you, it is going to be somebody coming out of a different relationship, and they don't know. They're weighing out their options. Do I want to stay, or do I want to invest in something new that seems, like something I'd actually better align with than the person that I'm with right now. So the person may be attached. They have their eye on you, but they may be attached. So I'm just going to say that and put that out there now. All right, I am going to pull two oracle cards for further clarification on today's message. If this message is resonating with you so far, if you can like and subscribe and comment, because that will let me know, who these messages are resonating for. Especially the songs that I get. I would love to know who those are reaching and who those resonate with. I love Michael Bublé. I'm sure you could tell that. I'm a pretty big fan. And I like I love his voice. But I haven't been listening to him recently, and I received 2 songs from Michael Bublé this week. Haven't Met You Yet is such an exciting, upbeat, ooh, I'm about to meet my soulmate kind of vibe. So, all right, the first oracle card we got is the Light Princess. The Light Princess Ungrounded. And I'm going to read from the guidebook for the oracle cards. Let's see what this one has to say. And I love how each one of them is actually, in this oracle deck, they're connected to a little story for each one. So it's a really nice touch. The Light Princess Ungrounded. The quote for this card is, "Death alone from death can save. Love is death, and so is brave. Love can fill the deepest grave. Love loves on beneath the wave." The Light Princess is a modern fairy tale which describes eloquently what can take place when we fail to ground, to value, and earth our desires. In this deeply symbolic story, a beautiful princess is born, but is cursed at birth. Her curse is an unusual one. She is weightless and floats high above all that is on the ground, and must be gently guided about at all times on a string like a human kite. She also is unable to grasp anything that is of complex or serious nature. She is not unintelligent, but it seems she is completely disinterested in anything that is deep or is sad in any way. In some ways, she lacks empathy and the ability to relate as she floats above all, gliding about, looking at everything from far away, from the air, laughing at the beauty of the sky and the clouds. She is separate, sweet, and hopeless. The only thing that can weigh her down for a time is water, the element associated with memory, death, and emotional maturity. Thus, one message of the tale, and a message of this card, is that it is through emotional experience, memory, and the intelligent and honest examination of the past, and our psyche's awakening, that we develop compassion and empathy and true intelligence. When we have no ability to feel the heaviness of certain situations, we may have the benefit of escaping much that is painful, but we run the danger of becoming distant, literally airheaded or fluffy. If we choose to stay ungrounded and to focus only on ascension or being a light worker without acting in real grounded ways to help those around us, we can truly become cruel. We have power, as the princess does, but it must be grounded and brought to earth and lived out through the body in order to be useful and truly loving. In time, there is a happy ending for the light princess, but the ability to come down to earth does not mean she is no longer free. It means that she can finally relate, feel, and find true connection with others. Some meanings for this card, it says, it's time to ground yourself. You must take steps to reconnect. So that could speak to the Hanged Man here. You must take steps to, stop contemplating on what your emotional fulfillment is and actually take concrete steps forward with allowing yourself to meet somebody new and relate to them. Escapism is making you ineffective. Fantasy without grounding can become cruelty. The need to be serious. And then it can also relate to spiritual laws, emotional depth, denial of gravity, and being ungrounded. To me, this Libra card came out more than one time, and I think it's because it's letting you know that you're going to need to balance when you enter this new relationship or meet this person. It can't all be, you had time to think about what it is you want in a relationship, but don't forget to connect emotionally. Everybody kind of has a mental checklist that they're looking for when they meet a new person. I don't like to think about relationships that way. But I know a lot of friends of mine who have talked about it that way. This person fulfills a certain amount of wishes on my wish list for a partner. That's the more logical planning side of, okay, this is what I want in a relationship, but let's get real. How many times have you actually, how many times have you actually had a fulfilling connection with somebody thinking about the relationship like that at the beginning? To me, my experience, I can't speak for everybody, but my experience has been the opposite of that. It's almost like the people that you don't expect sometimes to have such a deep emotional connection with are the ones that can come in and shake up your world, and you can have such an intense, deep connection with them. I think that's really what this is speaking to alongside the Libra card here. Be clear on the big non-negotiable things that you're looking for in a partner, but maybe just be careful that you don't overlook someone just because they're not what you thought your soulmate would look like or how your soulmate would present themselves. Listen more, going back to the moon on the Libra card, listen more to your inner intuition and emotions and let those guide you alongside your logical mind so that you can make sure you're not overlooking somebody or you're not missing out on what could be a really deep emotional connection with someone. I am a Libra and I have a Pisces moon, so I'm grateful for my Pisces moon a lot because air signs have a tendency, and this is not meant to offend anybody, and this is not for every air sign, but in general, the swords energy, the air energy, we have a tendency sometimes to be too logical and detached if we're not careful. That can very easily turn into ruthlessness and just making analytical snap judgments without really taking time to perceive from an emotional standpoint. I think that's what this is guarding us against. Okay, it's good to have this sharp-witted mind and know what you want from a person, but don't ignore your deeper emotions. Don't ignore, if you're in somebody's company and they're not typically what you would think of as a good match for you or an ideal match for you. But when you spend time with the person afterwards, you're like, wow, I had a really good time. And you have a positive experience with that person. You have positive emotions every time you interact with them. Then that might be somebody you need to reevaluate and look at and say, maybe I can have a deeper emotional connection with this person, even though they weren't immediately on my radar. I think it might be a situation like that where whoever this is who's kind of spying in on you and thinking about how to come forward, release burdens to come towards you. It might not be somebody that you expect. It might be somebody that's below your radar, like I said, either at work, online, an acquaintance, a friend of a friend, somebody that you're not thinking of as your typical partner, because maybe they don't have the surface characteristics that you normally look for. I watched a really interesting movie last night. I'm not going to name it, but basically it was very satirical and all about how people choose mates based on like arbitrary characteristics sometimes. Let me know if you know what movie I'm talking about and drop that in the comments. But it's it was satirical, so it took it to a ridiculous degree. Like, people were pairing up over the most ridiculous surface level traits. And it was, I think, just a commentary on, the ways in which we look for a partner in our society and how ridiculous that can be sometimes. So, I mean, this card also spoke about, listening to spirituality, and so did the Six of Airs in this deck. It is the Six of Swords, but also it has a more spiritual component in this deck and more spiritual implications about like listening to your intuition and things like that. Your higher level intuition and your emotional intuition cannot be ignored in this situation. So I think for some of you, you may need to take a step back and be like, and just ask yourself, like, who might I be overlooking? And if you do have an interaction with somebody, don't immediately write them off if they don't present in a way that maybe some of your exes have. If your exes were super fulfilling, you'd still be with your ex. So, it might be something you're not accustomed to at first. I'm going to pull one more Oracle deck. I was in high school, and this is going back a while now, but when I was in high school, I was like completely in love with this one guy, and I just had every reason why we would make the best couple. We were both honor students. We were both really smart. He was an air sign. He was an Aquarius. We were both air signs is what I'm trying to say. He was musical like I am. He turned out to be like, I mean, he's a nice guy and everything, but he turned out to lack the emotional depth that I needed. And I ended up meeting somebody else while I was kind of stuck on him, who completely flew under my radar, who I just kind of friend zoned. And he was an Aries, and he turned out to be like really passionate and really like sarcastic and funny. And he didn't appear on the surface as someone that I normally would like look at. I was all about blue eyes back then. I mean, please forgive me. I know that's superficial, but I was in high school, and I've changed a lot since then, thank goodness. But I was all about like, this person that I date needs to fulfill all these things that I'm looking for. And on the surface, the one guy that I was like infatuated with did. But when push came to shove, the other one was the one that I actually like truly fell in love with, because his personality just aligned with mine better. The signs are irrelevant. I'm not trying to say like, you need to date an Aries. That's not what I want you to take from that conversation, okay? In fact, Aquarius, Aries, and Sagittarius are probably my favorite signs next to Libra in the zodiac. So I still really respect the first man that I was talking about. It's just, sometimes you can't tell the exact alchemy that you're going to encounter with another person until you're really in it with them, until you really know them on a deeper level and how your dynamic relates to them and what they bring out of you as a person. You can't really tell. There's only so much you can tell on the surface. Okay, one more. This one is, okay, I really hope I'm pronouncing this correctly. Verde Prato. Okay, let's see what they have to say. Interesting, there's definitely interesting artwork here. Like, she looks kind of like a darker fairy, and there is a skeleton sitting next to her. I'm getting, like, not judgment. death card energy here, like Scorpio energy a little bit. But let's see the exact meaning of the card. It is an old saying that he who seeks what he should not finds what he would not. A secret love affair between a beautiful young princess and a handsome prince is being conducted in the strangest of ways. Because they live far away from each other, they have used magic to create an enchanted tunnel of glass through which they run naked towards each other each night before returning to their separate castles each morning. The glass tunnel represents the fragility of the truth we hide from others, the nakedness, our vulnerability in love. The princess has two sisters who discover her love, and in their envy, disguised as concern, smash the enchanted glass tunnel just as the prince is entering, leaving him naked, cut to pieces, bleeding for his love. The enchanted glass means his wounds will not heal, and he is separated from love and wounded and without power to overcome the blood in his veins from leaking away, day after day. The prince's father, the king, sends out a call across the land to find the greatest of healers, and promises his son will marry the woman who can heal his awful wounds. The princess rallies upon hearing of her beloved's wounds and goes deep into the wildest forest to find a magical plant to heal his terrible wounds. She overhears two ogres speaking about how the only cure for his wounds is the fat from an ogre smeared into his cuts. She wanders to them, feigning that she is lost within the woods, and the ogres take her to their cottage, planning to eat her. There they drink, relishing the thought of the princess as their meal. But she waits till they pass out, drunken and deeply asleep, and she kills them and harvests the fat from their bodies. This is getting a little on the dark side. She carries the fat, which glows and sparks with secret magic, and smears her face with dirt so no one can recognize her. She smears the fat into her lover's wounds, and he is cured. And the sisters who betrayed them both die within the flames of a great fire the people light for them. And the prince and the princess are finally joined in the light of day and in love eternal. When this card comes to you, it indicates you are being punished by others for feelings you have kept secret. Others have felt entitled to know your every emotion, to almost possess the right to tell you who to be with. Now they know you have kept secrets from them. They wish to punish you. It is time for you to begin to acknowledge the feelings you have hidden so deeply. And now that the worst part has happened, know that if you stay true, you will be able to pass through this test and find a solution. You will need to use your wits and not expose your true feelings to any more dangers. Know that you owe those who wish to control you nothing, and that a time to be free and joyous with your love will come to you very soon if you stay true to your heart and be brave. Meaning, secret love. Sorry. I'm really sorry. Something happened with my recording device. But the meaning is, hopefully you heard the end of that story. Secret love, attempt to keep some of your deeper emotions to yourself, at least for now. Stare fear in the face. We are all vulnerable in love. Love's wounds can be cured through courage and healing from love's wounds. I have two connections to today's reading. Okay, so we got the Three of Swords reversed before. And I said, you may be coming out of a situation where you're still healing or getting over some kind of betrayal or grief from a previous relationship. I definitely pick up that energy here. But I also pick up the energy that you may, since this person that you've caught their eye, this person that wants to come forward and maybe give you a love offer, might not be the type of person that you typically date. I'm getting that you may receive judgment from other people at first. Not sure who these people may be, your friends, your family, maybe even yourself. You may judge this person too harshly and write them off and, be tempted to just be like, it's going to be too hard. We have too many differences. It's just not going to work out. But I think this card is cautioning against that. And again, one of the messages behind the card was to tap into your deepest feelings. You may not want to reveal them to other people immediately. There was a caution in there about the people in your environment, like meddling. So maybe, as you meet this person, take things slowly and maybe don't let other people in on the situation right away. And for some reason, my device decided to turn off right at that moment. But
that was pretty much the takeaway there. Just like, don't let other people in on it. Don't be mindful that other people may be judgmental of this new person or your relationship with them at the beginning, and keep an open mind. Really tap into that intuition as you encounter new people, especially in the upcoming few weeks, because I believe that this person really does have their eye on you and is going to come in faster than you might realize. Okay, if you enjoyed today's video, please like, comment, subscribe. I really would love to be able to start growing our channel. Other than that, I will talk to you all soon. Bye-bye.